a winner. Pay the front line, take the don'ts. He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4's the point, mark 4. Ace, deuce, scraps, wants 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 4. Ace, deuce, ace, deuce, scrap, wants 4. Scrap, wants 4. Who wants the hard 4? 5 wants 4.
Check me out, chump.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 4 and he made it the hard way. Pay the front line, take the hard. You have a shooter and a good one. Coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point is 9. Place 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. He's a rolling point is 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. Who wants to come? 6 to point.
Check me out, chump.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, place your bets. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
So funky. So funky. Check me out, chump.
8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. He's a rolling point is 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. Who wants to come? Place 6.
So funky. So funky.
Coming out again for a new point.
So funky.
Bets down, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants the hard 4?
So funky.
5 wants 4.
Check me out, chump.
4 4's the point, mark 4.
So funky.
Ace, deuce, scraps, wants 4. Ace, deuce, deuce.
So funky.
Scraps, wants 1. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Who wants to come?
Check me out, chump.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets. 9 a winner. Pay the front line, take the don'ts. He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4 4's the point, mark 4. Ace, deuce, deuce. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Who wants to come? 6 to point. Play 6.
Hey.
Hi, Craig.
Oh well. Are we gonna start now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Welcome everybody. What day is it today?
Guys. Welcome to
Today, November 17th.
Why were you doing it like a very deep voice?
because welcome to Poké Radio.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. Today, this is gonna be a different. It's gonna be done differently because it's gonna be a much more shorter podcast.
Yep.
We're pretty busy, but we don't have that much time. Specifically my co-host. So we're gonna do like a 30-minute episode for this week, and maybe next week we'll go back to the 1 hour and 30 minutes. Or what we could do is just, start doing our podcast instead of like 30-minute long episodes instead of an hour and 30, so that it's more digestible and it's much more easier for us to record.
We can also use this like a test to see how many views each video get, and
Yeah.
See how it works.
Yeah, we should have an idea of how well it performs and whether they actually give feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So today is going to be a much more shorter episode than the usual, but whatever. Let's not beat around the bush and let's get started. So
Yes.
the first reminder of the day, obviously, is that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is coming out tomorrow.
Yay.
Again, it is November 17th. For sure, I am going to be going and picking up my copy. I won't be playing until Christmas, though, because I feel like that's
Same
the
here.
time when most people are going to get their hands on the game. So I think I'd rather do, a review or something of the game during that time. A time where people can actually get their hands on it as well and play the game, so that there aren't that many spoilers. Because I know that there's people out there who are trying to avoid spoilers, myself included.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this guy over here already knows like fucking 70% of the game.
Yeah, why not? Eventually it would have
Yeah.
happened. Not play until December without leaks or without spoilers. Better said. It's, I don't know, almost impossible. Almost. Because, actually, at least on my YouTube recommendations, I always have Pokemon videos. Same at Twitter. Same at Instagram. Same at everywhere. So, I can avoid it leak, but after tomorrow, after November 18th, that the game are public for everyone, spoilers are a little impossible for me to avoid.
I was thinking for you it's gonna be even difficult because you watch a lot of Pokemon videos and
Hey,
the
no,
algorithm automatically
Even
assumes
more.
that you want to watch it.
Most of my YouTube channel is based on Pokemon. So,
No, I mean, for you it's gonna be for you it's gonna be like a god mode difficulty, trying to avoid spoilers. So I assume you were just kind of fuck it. At this point, I'm tired of avoiding spoilers. I might as well just see them.
oh yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, for me it isn't gonna be that difficult because I don't get recommended Pokemon videos that much. And I've also been trying to avoid Sonic Frontiers spoilers. I've been sort of successful. I mean, I haven't seen anything important from the game, so I think I'm almost on the green, right? I think I'm almost on the clear.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe in a few weeks, people are gonna stop making videos in Sonic Frontiers, and I can finally avoid any kind of spoilers. So yeah, that was the main highlight of the podcast. Now, for the next story that we have, recently, in our home country, which, by the way, we don't live in the United States. I'm pretty sure you can already tell due to our accent, but we don't live in the U.S. We live in Puerto Rico, and recently, they reopened a Toys R Us over to where we are.
Hallelujah. Yes.
After Toys R Us went bankrupt, I think it was a few months or a year or so after bankruptcy, they kind of just reopened, and they reopened in New York, if I'm not mistaken. And
No, it was another state.
oh, okay. Which
I don't
state
remember
was it?
which. I don't remember, but I know it was another state.
Okay. Yeah. I'm probably gonna look that up later and see.
Yeah.
Where did it open? But yeah, I'm glad that they reopened. Obviously, it's a much more smaller locale, but I'm glad that it's open. because
Mhm.
Toys R Us has been a huge part of our childhood, and finally, like we can get a place where we can buy stuff to collect and just buy video games. However,
Yeah.
we're gonna see the prices of the video games. As long as it's not higher than Best Buy, I'm fine. Like as long as
Best
it's
Buy
not higher
literally
than
has
Best Buy.
the actual price. So
Yeah.
Best Buy has the video games
The
for
retail
their
price,
actual
yeah.
price. Yeah, the retail price, but yeah, I don't know. You know something? I don't even know if they are selling video games because the pictures I have seen, I haven't seen any video game section.
I swear to God, if they're not selling video games, what the fuck are they doing?
Toys,
they're
because
already
their
starting-
name is
they're
Toys
already
R Us.
starting in the they're already starting in the wrong direction. What the fuck?
Toys. That's their whole point.
I think I might when I go there, right? In the
Mhm.
next podcast that we do, and obviously it's not guaranteed to be the next episode, but if it is, then I'm gonna take some pictures and show them in the episode. To just kind of see like what they have to offer there. What I am sure is that they're gonna have a shit ton of Pokemon cards. Like there's no way that they're not gonna have a shit ton of them. I mean, do you remember right when Toys R Us was actually open, like the mega store?
Yeah.
On front of the door, or the sliding doors, you could see a
Pokemon
big,
cards.
yeah, you could see like a big shelf, and it was just a ton of Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Well,
It was ridiculous. They even had them
good
at
memory.
the
Good
cashier.
memory. Yes.
Yeah, they even had them at the cashiers. I remember that.
They had really high prices, but good memories.
The price doesn't matter. What matters is the experience.
Take all my
Yeah.
money, Toys R Us.
Yeah, the experience of getting lost in a toy store. And yeah, I'm not even joking about that. I dead ass when I was a kid. I got lost in Toys R Us.
Probably, I think, I don't know, but probably many got lost at Toys R Us when they were a kid.
Yeah.
I just imagine a lot of kids walking around Toys R Us searching for their parents. Let me see my parents. I kid, I'm a giraffe.
No, don't. don't bring it there. So, when I was a kid, right?
Do you want Pokemon cards? They are really expensive.
That's probably not the best marketing option. Like just telling your customers yeah, we sell the product overpriced.
The new Toys R Us commercial. Hey kids, welcome to Toys R Us. You can get any normal toy, but for a higher price. Go
Yeah,
now for an unforgettable experience in Toys R Us.
And then
Now
they
in
wonder
Macy's.
why there's nobody at the store. So,
What happened?
when I was a kid, right? I think I might have deviated myself away from my mom, and I was just kind of browsing around the store. Because usually when you're a kid and your parents don't buy you anything on Toys R Us, you just kind of window shop and look at the toys that are there. So I might have window shopped a little too much, and because the store was so big, I didn't know where my mom was. So what I did is that I went over to the customer service area, and I told someone, that I got lost. I don't know where my mom is. And they just kind of asked me like, oh, what's your mom's name and all that kind of shit, and they just called her from via intercom. And I
At
was
least you were a
panicking.
smart kid.
Yeah, yeah. I was panicking at that moment because
Oh yeah, you are a kid. It's something normal, really.
yeah, a kid growing up with a single mom, not really single. It's like a very complicated situation, but whatever. I'm not going to get too much into details over that. But yeah, like a kid with a single mom in the store, and then like fucking getting lost and not knowing where to go. Because the thing is, I knew where everything was, right? Like I already knew the layout of the store because
Bro,
I
I still know the entire Toys R Us shop from memory.
yeah, same. Yeah, same.
I could teleport there.
Yeah, I have a photographic memory, right? So I knew the whole place,
Same.
but because it was so big, I didn't know where to find her. So, yeah. And in the end, like, she just kind of came over to customer service and whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of that story. Fun memory. That Toys R Us. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I got
Wait.
some information about the first Toys R Us to reopen. The Toys R Us were from New Jersey and Texas. Yeah, those two.
Okay, interesting. So
Yeah, in
if
America.
you guys,
Because other countries still have
Yeah,
Toys R Us open.
yeah, interesting. So yeah, if any of you live in New Jersey or fucking Texas, then you can go to Toys R Us. Great.
Congrats. You can be one of the lucky ones like us to enjoy Toys R Us once again, but this time in a Macy's. Oh my!
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, and also we're gonna be showing the post, or like some of the posts of the reopening, from our home country. Obviously, they're gonna be in Spanish, so some of the viewers might not understand. But I'm gonna try to translate them, with via text. Once I actually display them. So, yeah. But that was also a very interesting piece. It seems like Toys R Us, or like the people who own the company, seem to have learned from their mistake, because now they're opening locales in much more smaller amounts, and
Yeah.
some of the other ones, right, where they're opening them in smaller sizes, because a lot of the Toys R Us stores were like mega stores.
Yes. Hey, something? Another thing that I noticed from the pictures of the Toys R Us they opened near us is that in some of the pictures you can see that in many of the sections they had like deals and sales, and I don't know if that's something that they.
You kind of cut there for a second. Yo, you there? You kind of cut there for a second.
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. Probably some connection issue.
Probably, yes. Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
No, we were talking about like some of the stuff in the picture.
Oh yes. In some of the pictures that I saw from the Toys R Us they reopened near us, I saw that in some of the toy aisles and sections they had like special deals and sales. So I don't know if that's something that they will have now like regularly, or if that's from Thanksgiving, Black Friday deals. I'm not sure, but I saw that on the pictures, so interesting.
Yeah, that could work actually. If they if they lower the prices in comparison to the competition, like that could work.
Mm-hmm.
But I do not want to imagine how that shit is gonna look like on Black Friday. I do not want to imagine that. Because the thing is,
You know
the store is already in a.
you know that-
the store is already. Hold on. The store is already at a Macy's, right? Like the store is like in a Macy's, and then it's fucking Toys R Us. Like it's a store that hasn't been around for maybe I would say like 5 years, probably.
Almost.
Like it's been
Almost.
gone missing for 5 years.
Almost. Not entirely like 4, but almost.
Yeah. So again, plus Macy's, plus Toys R Us, and plus Black Friday, that's gonna be some fucking chaos.
Bro, and some fun fact. Apparently, the Toys R Us in Puerto Rico was one of the Toys R Us that sold the most. Like it was always full.
Wow.
So
really?
imagine reopening a Toys R Us here, and just perfect for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah. That's gonna be fucking chaotic. Like there's gonna be people camping outside at Macy's like
Yes.
3 to 4 in the morning.
You know the Black Friday videos that they always start appearing around, well, obviously Black Friday, that from the people like entering, running to the store and punching and throwing things, stuff like that. That's what's going to happen here.
Oh my
Toys R Us madness.
Honestly, I do not. If that would be the case, I do not want to be anywhere near them because I'm already a person who doesn't like to be in large crowds. So imagine. I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious from my previous story where I talked about going to Walmart and then Walmart having Black Friday deals and the fucking store being full, right? Like it was like early Black Friday deals and the store was full. So, and I was already getting pissed. Like I was already getting mad. So I pretty much told my mom like, hey, I didn't found Sonic Frontiers, so let's just get out of here. And we bought some decorations and we left. And that's a very basic recap of what happened. But if you want to know the full context, then I recommend you watching the previous episode.
Yes.
All right.
Watch it.
So yeah, are we done with the Toys R Us story?
Sure.
Okay. Now, let's get on to, I guess, the middle section of the podcast. And we're going to talk about Pokemon TCG Live finally launching. Apparently it's not like a full launch. Yeah, apparently it's not a full launch. Apparently it's just a beta.
Yeah.
But to me, it already seems complete. But at the same time, it kind of fucking sucks. Like in comparison to the original, it kind of sucks. And this is coming from somebody who played it on mobile. Like probably playing it on mobile was worse than playing it on PC. But I don't know. I think in general they made some very good decisions and very bad decisions. And obviously this is going to be new for you because you haven't been able to fully experience Pokemon TCG Live yet. You kind of cut there again.
No, yeah, I just discovered what happened.
Well, what happened?
Conveniently enough, talking about Pokemon TCG Live, apparently I can't be in this call while I play Pokemon TCG Live.
Oh, oh no!
I was trying to enter the game to test that out because I wasn't able to play the game before, so I log in and everything, and so every time I try to enter the game, yeah,
So yeah,
I was
this is
disconnected
gonna be
from
a
the
new
call.
experience for you. This is gonna be a new experience. Um, so yeah, let's get started into, I guess, like the good things about the game. Like number one, obviously it's good that they were able to port it over to mobile. I feel like it was already
Mm-hmm.
long overdue
Yeah.
for a mobile port. However, I guess like the one bad thing is that the game is so compressed. And it's not compressed in the sense like the graphics are terrible or like, you know, it's shit. I'm talking about like the screen being so compressed that it doesn't fit everything. Specifically your hand. Like it doesn't fit your hand. When you're trying to look for any fucking cards in your hand, like you're always constantly scrolling. And there are times where it won't, you know, read your inputs that well, and I don't know, you'll just get a little too aggravated with the constant scrolling. You know, that is drawing a lot of cards. Now, another good thing that I will say is that they actually give you free decks when you start the game, which is a surprise. Like the decks are actually pretty competitive. I think you can actually get away with using them in competitive, so you know, not bad. And they even do give you Lugia V-Star, which is one of the most recent cards in the set, or I guess like one of the most recent sets of Silver Tempest, if I'm not mistaken. Dude, are you playing Pokemon TCG Live again?
No.
Okay. You're just kind of there listening.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, resuming, it's interesting that they actually give you some competitive decks. You know, because I feel like in terms of what free-to-play options you had in the previous game, they were very little. Like there was almost nothing good for competitive that you could use as free-to-play. You would either have to constantly earn gold coins in order for you to open packs, and then you could actually get some decent cards. But in terms of the preset deck, right, that the game gives you, like it was nothing. Like you would get absolutely nothing. But this time around, they actually give you some pretty good options, and I think some actually really good competitive decks too. So, you know, good on Pokemon for actually doing something good with their OCG. Now, let's see, what else? A lot of the sets, right, or a lot of the packs that you can access now, you know, like promo boxes and all that kind of stuff, you can buy them, which is interesting because in the previous, like in Pokemon TCG Online, you couldn't do that. Like you couldn't buy promo boxes or promo cards.
Mm-hmm.
You would usually need to buy the physical box first and then scan the code so that you can get the card. But now it seems like they actually let you buy those boxes, which is again another major step up for competitive. Now one downgrade is that the packs that you do get in the game, right, like the individual pack, you only get 5 cards on each one, which it kind of falls under the same lines of like, you know, the Japanese packs, which the Japanese packs only give you around like 5 to 6 cards. But I don't know, I feel like it was a very bad decision. In one sense, you know, unless they kind of increase the pull rate, you know, for higher rarity cards, which in that case, then, you know, that's better. But the reason why the Japanese sets only give you 5 cards per pack, or like 5 to 6, is because each set has very little cards in it, right? Like there's not that many cards in comparison to the English set.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Japanese packs, they also bring a rare card in every pack or something like that, right? Yeah. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I honestly can't tell you because I haven't actually I haven't actually opened a Japanese pack.
Okay, because from at least the videos I have seen on YouTube, like they always get good cards, at least one from each pack, or something like that. You know, at least something like holographics or some V card, something rare.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I think it's a bad decision to have very little cards in the pack because you know the sets already have a shit ton of cards in it. Because most English sets are compilations of sets that already came out in Japan. So I don't know. To me, it just seems like a bad decision to reduce the amount of cards. Unless they actually increase the full rates, which, you know, in that case it kind of balances it out.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's mostly a complaint that I have. Now, another addition to the game, which, if you thought you could get away from the Battle Pass craze, you're mighty fucking mistaken, because Pokemon TCG Online, or Pokemon TCG Live, I should say, has a fucking Battle Pass. Oh boy. I mean, at the very least, like, the first thing that you get isn't that bad. Like, it's actually really good. And it's the V-Star Lugia. It's like a full set of 60 cards and 7 packs.
And the card's basically new, right?
What?
The Lugia V, it's basically like from the new set.
Yeah, Silver Tempest. So yeah, they do give you a really good deck to start off, you know, from the Battle Pass. And they do give you as well 7 packs, you know, like in addition to the deck. But my one fucking complaint is that automatically, as soon as you get the pack, it opens. Like you don't go into a menu and then look at your inventory, right? And then you see your packs. It just automatically opens. And then when you have a shit ton of packs that you're gonna open, it just automatically opens them, you know, and you can't really see well what kind of cards you're getting, right? Like it's fucking annoying. Like they should have just made a menu for seeing the packs that you have, and then opening them up the same way that they did in Pokemon TCG Online. Like, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So yeah, that's one of my annoyances. Now, another annoyance is that the game does not have single player. Like, you know how Pokemon TCG Online has, you know, obviously like online competitive, and also has like a single player, which is, you know, basically getting the hang of the game. You know, it's like a pseudo tutorial of sorts. Well, that's gone. There's no single player. It's just rank matches and casual battles. That's all there is, and it's fucking disappointing. Now, you still can test out the decks, which, by the way, that's another improvement. The decks that the CPU uses are no longer decks from fucking X and Y, and are now like actually up to, you know, they're actually adapted to the meta, and they have some really good decks actually. Like the CPU plays more aggressive than how it played in Pokemon TCG Online, and overall has like a much better deck. But that's all there is of like single player, just testing out your deck. There's no like actual like single player campaign or anything. You know, it could. I feel like it could have opened up the potential for doing things like events for the game. You know, having like an actual single player campaign. But whatever. Gotta get that money, I guess.
Hey, and have you tested the option to redeem packs?
Yeah. You know, basically you just go into the shop and you use the in-game currency, which is like some weird purple crystal.
But you know
Um,
the I'm talking from the QR codes, you know, from the real packs.
oh, the QR code. No, I
Yeah.
haven't tested that out yet, but yeah, there is an option for you to do the QR code shit, and it's actually bigger this time. It's not like a tiny ass like box.
Okay.
Instead it takes like an actual good portion of the screen and you can see well. So, like good improvement, but I don't know, like it just doesn't feel satisfying opening up the packs because they automatically just open. So, there's no sense of satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else am I going to talk about the game? Aside, I do think, in terms of visual presentation, it's way better than Pokemon TCG Online. Like, it definitely feels like a step up in terms of visual presentation. What I don't like are the avatars. Like, the avatars that they have for the game look like absolute shit. And I do think that the avatars already did look like shit in Pokemon TCG Online. But I'm gonna be real, seeing the models actually make me miss the original ones. I don't know, it's weird. It makes me miss the original avatars that they had in Pokemon TCG Online because it just looks like fucking ass. I don't like it. Let's see. What else can I talk about the game? Well, I mean, not really that much. Oh wait, yeah, one important detail, which okay, no, yeah, two things. And I guess I can wrap up by giving,
Too
I guess
easy.
some final thoughts on it. Interestingly enough, the game did add a mechanic where you can craft cards. Like you
That's
get a
good,
certain
I think.
you get a certain material, and you can craft basically any card. Because what you do is that if you check on the filters and you look at all cards instead of the cards that you own, you can look at every single card, from standard to expanded, and then craft the cards that way. And you don't need to actually pull it in order for you to get it. However, it does take for certain cards a bit more material, specifically the ones that are like V cards. They take a lot of material to craft. But if you want to craft something like, I don't know, let's say some trainer cards or, I don't know, a normal Pokemon, then, it doesn't take that much. And interestingly, you know how they were talking about, right, when you made the account transfer over to Pokemon TCG Live, it would automatically set all your cards to 4. Well, that's pretty much what it is. When you do that, the game will tell you that any excess cards that you have are going to be turned into material, right, that you can use for crafting the card. So that's interesting.
So
It could definitely be a big change for the meta, right? Like being able to craft cards and also having really good trainer cards and all that kind of stuff right off the bat. So I don't know. I wonder how the OCG is going to be from now on with Pokemon TCG Live. Yeah, and also one final thing before we actually get into the final thoughts. You can no longer train or trade cards. What the fuck? You cannot trade cards anymore. Why would they do that? I mean, at that point, why do you even call yourself Pokemon trading card game if we can't even fucking trade the cards? I mean, what? What the fuck were they thinking? It's like, yeah, you can craft any kind of card that you want, but it requires a certain amount of material. And secondly, like, it completely takes away from the name of, you know, being a fucking trading card game. Like,
A trading card game where you cannot trade.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like they basically castrated the game. It's like saying, right? The one cool thing about Pokemon TCG has always been, or I guess the online game, has been that you can actually trade cards with other people. But you can no longer do that. And now that also now that I think about it, it completely kills a sub-market that the game had, right? Because if they somehow shut down Pokemon TCG Online, that means that people that are selling fucking digital cards on eBay are gonna have to shut their sales.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's people out there, right, that sell digital cards on eBay for Pokemon TCG Online, and having Pokemon TCG Lite no longer having tradability, that kills the whole market. Oh my god, dude. It is so fucking stupid. I mean, maybe we can get used to it over time, but I just think it was a bad decision. Because trading was actually one of the best ways for you to get access to certain cards in the game that you didn't have. So, you know, now that that's gone, you're going to have to rely heavily on materials. And again, no need to remind you that the materials, or it requires a lot of material to craft certain cards. So, yeah. I guess my final thoughts on it is that it's bad, but it's not bad at the same time. I think it's just like, you know, on the middle of the road, right? Because in presentation and, you know, how it like steps up from the original game and focuses more on its competitive side, it's a good change, right? Because it can get new players adapted into the game much easier. However, it completely strips away what actually made some of the elements of Pokemon TCG cool and fun, like the online game. So, I don't know. Like, it's good, right, that you can download it on your phone. Like, that's the one good advantage of it. But I don't know. I think it's best to just hold on a bit to the original game for a bit, and then once they announce, you know, the eventual shutdown of online, then, you know, you can do the full transfer.
Hey, but I have a question. Okay, so you transfer your account, and you get only 4 copies of your card to the Pokemon TCG Live. But in the Pokemon TCG Online, you lose your cards. You know, you literally transferred them.
I think.
Or are you still able to use them on the online?
I think what it does is that automatically, when you do the transfer, you won't be able to transfer back. I don't know if that's how it works. You know, so it's like a one trip. It's like a one-way trip. So yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, if you want to hold on a bit longer to Pokemon TCG Online, then I recommend you to do so until they eventually announce like a shutdown to the original game. You know, if you want to take advantage of, you know, being able to craft cards, then go ahead. You know, because I do think there's some really good things about Pokemon TCG Lite. Because again, overall, like, it improves the AI from the previous game, and it gives you, like a really good head start into learning competitive Pokemon. But I don't know, like maybe what you could do is, if you need to trade certain cards, then I recommend you to do so, and then you transfer your account, right, so that you can have those cards with you.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it with the Pokemon TCG live segment. I'm gonna see how it goes. I don't think I'm gonna be playing competitive that much. Maybe until I actually get the hang of it, and also improve my deck. Which, by the way, when you actually transfer the game, it doesn't save the decks that you've already made, so you're gonna have to remake them again.
Oh. So, yeah. Good. Good to know. Yes, to take some pictures of my deck. Just, in case.
Yeah, before you do the transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend you doing that, just in case you might have forgotten about the deck that you were using.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And now for the final segment of the podcast, we're gonna talk about the new trailer, or I guess finally a trailer for the movie of Elements from Pixar.
Elemental.
Yeah, I'm gonna display the trailer on screen. Obviously, we already saw it, but to give you the benefit of the doubt for those that haven't seen it, we're gonna put it on screen, and we're just gonna talk about it once it's done with that.
And just to clarify, for copyright reasons, this is a Disney Pixar movie trailer. So yeah, guys.
Yeah. For us, it's going to be like 1 second, because again, we already saw it, but for you, it's probably going to be like maybe a minute or so. So
right now.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the new trailer is interesting because it caught my my attention was already caught right when they made the first announcement before the trailer. Because it seems like they were going to a more simple formula, which I feel like that's where mostly Pixar thrives on, making much more simpler formulas for their movies. However, I still do need to see more of it, because I have been very skeptical about Pixar for the past maybe 2 year or so. I'm just gonna say it. Fucking Lightyear sucked. Like, it was the most underwhelming thing, or the most underwhelming movie I have ever seen. And before anybody starts spinning it, no, I do not care about the fucking gay kiss scene. That was like a 2-second scene. And if, honestly, if anybody really thinks that that's a problem, you should really check yourself. Because, like, who the fuck cares if there's like a gay kiss scene? Like, that's just, that's just natural, right? Like, that should just be something natural. Like, people don't have to pay too much attention to that. So, whatever. The reason why the movie sucked is because at the beginning it was interesting, but then halfway it became the most generic fucking space movie I have ever seen.
But at the end, it doesn't even matter.
We're talking here about Lightyear, like Buzz Lightyear. The fucking Buzz Lightyear. How is it that you managed to make the most boring and generic film of all time? Like, it should have been
his own TV series.
Yeah, it should have been an automatic hit, right?
Yeah.
Like, it should have been an automatic hit, because you have a character from a franchise that is already very well known. So why not take that to your advantage? And obviously I'm not talking about including fucking references left and right, because this is supposed to be its own thing, but they completely sucked at it. Like, they didn't even use any references from Lightyear, or like Buzz Lightyear from Star Command. Like, they didn't even use any fucking references in that shit. And obviously, if they did, I probably missed them. But I have not seen any sort of related to that. And also, the story in general has like a bunch of issues in terms of timeline and, you know, just continuity errors in general. So, I don't know, just it was underwhelming as fuck. Another movie, Turning Red. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I certainly didn't like it that much. I think it was maybe above average, but I just did not like the art style. I fucking hate color. Like, I hate it with a burning passion. But, you know, maybe, like, I guess you could say that that's not a movie for me, right? Like, at least you could say that Turning Red is just not a movie for me. But, you know, if it is for you, then, and you enjoy it, then that's great. You know, like, you can enjoy it. I'm not saying that you should hate it, you know, just because we hate it. I do think that one of their best movies so far, or that they released from this, like, new era of films was Soul. Right, like, I do think Soul is, like, one of their best films so far. But I don't know, overall, I feel like they're just having a very bad streak of films. And it's very rare, because, you know, Pixar's will have occasionally a bad movie, but not as often as it is. So, maybe it's a shift in terms of, like, you know, in terms of creative teams, because I do know that John Lasseter is not there anymore. And, you know, for reasons that we're not going to get into the video, because it's a whole, like, it's a complete rabbit hole to go down, even though it's, like, the most, like, non-controversy shit of all time. We're not going to get into it for the sake of the video. But I don't know, a lot of the talent that was on Pixar is no longer there. So, I don't know what direction are they going to take Pixar's anymore. If they keep going with this, like, bad movie streak, I might just lose any sort of respect I have for Pixar. Because
Interesting.
you know, people wonder themselves, like, oh, why are you being so critical over Pixar? We're talking here about one of the most influential animation studios of, you know, over the decades. Like, it's not even like, you know, it's an if, right? It's just a pure fact. Like, it's one of the most influential, like, animation studios that has come out, you know, from American media. So, how can you tell me that a studio that has cemented itself for not just, like, its stunning visual fidelity, but also it's, you know, it's really good writing, you know, and careful thought process for making stories, how can you tell me that I'm not going to be overly critical about it? Like, we should not set a low standard for Pixar. They literally have Disney, right? Like, they not, like, Disney owns them. So they have the budget to hire good writers and good directors, and they clearly have money to make good movies, you know, or I guess, like, visually stunning movies, which the new trailer, or I guess the trailer for Element, it's just basically them flexing their visual fidelity. And honestly, I don't really look at Pixar films anymore, you know, for their visual fidelity. I just simply look at their stories, because honestly, it's guaranteed, like, every single Pixar movie is guaranteed to have really good visuals. So, I don't really focus on that anymore, all that much. But again, I do need to know more info about Elements. Like, I need to know more about the story and how it's gonna play out, like, you know, because it could end up being really good, right? It could end up being a really good redemption for Pixar, but at the same time, it could end up being shit. And
You
let's
know,
hope
like
that it's not
from
shit.
the teaser trailer, because you know what they released was like really it was a teaser trailer. It wasn't like a complete trailer, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah, like from the teaser trailer, what we saw was the animation. So apart from that, I don't know what to really expect out of the movie. But at least obviously it's Pixar. The animation looks good, like you previously mentioned.
Yeah.
So at least that's something good, but something common for Pixar. And I really don't know what to expect out of the movie. But I don't know, from the most recent movies from Pixar. Talking since I don't know what, the Disney Plus era, that they started releasing movies in Disney Plus instead of theaters for some pandemic reason. So like I liked Onward. Like I liked that movie. Like not like not like oh my god I love Onward, but it was okay, an okay movie for Pixar. But they didn't release that movie on the theaters, if I'm not wrong, right? They didn't release that one on theaters because I don't know why Disney decided to release Pixar movies at the beginning of the pandemic and Disney Plus, only on Disney Plus. But yes, they did that. And after that, they released Soul. Soul was a good movie. It wasn't my favorite, but it was good. I understand the message, and it's a good movie with a good meaning behind it. So you can see the movie and have thoughts about it, and it's not a bad movie. And also we had Luca, right? Yeah, Luca. Something, I like Luca. I something funny, the whole thing that people start saying that Luca was, I don't know, like gay with his best friend, something like that. It was such a silly, stupid thing. Like, why? But okay, apart from that, I like the movie Luca. So okay, yeah, Turning Red. It was, I don't know. I have like mixed opinions about Turning Red because I think it's Pixar. I think it wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite. Probably because obviously it's Pixar. The movie is probably directed and made for kids, and so maybe that has something to do on why I didn't like it. But I thought maybe it was okay, but not my favorite. And Lightyear, it's Lightyear. Yeah, that's all. And Lightyear's Lightyear.
I think the movies that completely shot over the Toy Story franchise were Lightyear and also Toy Story 4. Like Toy Story 4
mostly
completely fucking killed the franchise.
It's like what? Why Lightyear?
Yeah.
At the beginning when they first revealed Lightyear, I thought they were going to make a movie similar to the Buzz Lightyear Space Comet. I don't remember the name of the series, the animated one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Star Command.
So yeah. So the first time I saw a trailer or heard about the movie as a general, I thought that it was going to be something similar like that, and I thought like, whoa, okay, this can be something cool and different, and something like related but not related, because it is supposed to be the movie that Andy watched when he was a kid.
Yeah, and even so, they completely managed to somehow fuck up the continuity on that.
That's the thing that the thing that bothers me the most. Like, if that's supposed to be the movie that Andy watched as a kid, why it looks like that?
Yeah.
It almost looks like Andy got a toy from
the context
a third.
of the story. Apparently, in the context of the story, it's supposed to be a live-action film. Right?
That I agree with the theory videos of maybe that's the movie that they made based on the original movie, but like nowadays Disney does with the live actions, maybe something like that. I agree with those theories. It would make a lot more sense if that was the case. If only Pixar hadn't said anything. But yeah.
Yeah, but for me, I don't know, like, and you may think, oh, you probably just watched the movie in Disney Plus when it came out. No, I was actually excited for this film. Like, I was really, really excited. Like, I wanted to go watch this in theaters, and I even went with a friend of mine to watch it. And I still think it's shit. Like, all of my high hopes were on the ground entirely. And you could say, like, oh, you should probably not have had really high hopes. This franchise derives from Toy Story, what I would consider, like, one of the best, like, fucking trilogies in the entirety of Pixar. So, how can you tell me that I'm not holding it up to such high, like, how can you tell me that I shouldn't hold it to such high standards when it's literally their stellar franchise? Right? Like, it's only fair to assume that people are going to hold it to such high standards. I don't know. It's just fucking shit. Like, continuity wise, and also just story wise, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And obviously, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to go full in-depth analysis because this is not really a Lightyear video, or a Lightyear segment. This is like an Element segment, and holy fuck, we completely deviated away from that so hard.
Elemental.
Yeah, I do like the character design. That's one thing. It seems to be more stylized, right? Like, the characters do seem to be more stylized than the Elementals. But I don't know, like, it just gives me like a bit of a Zootopia vibe. So maybe it's gonna be good. I don't know.
Hopefully. I really hope so.
Yeah. I do need to see more information on it. But as long as there's like new trailers or no information about the story, then I can't really give too much judgment on it. Because again, the visuals are always going to be great, so I'm not going to be praising it for that. So yeah, I guess that is it. I think we completely dedicated a whole fucking segment just to Lightyear, and then like yeah, we talked more about Pixar's other films than the one that we were supposed to talk about.
Well, we have to wait for more details and more trailers from Elemental to have a better opinion on that. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyways, yeah, that'll be it for now. I hope that you guys enjoyed the podcast. Again, this is technically a much more shorter version of the podcast. If you actually want us to continue doing this, then I recommend you to just leave us some feedback.
Leave a like and comment.
Yeah, and just subscribe to the channel. To keep up to date with newer episodes.
And share the podcast to any friend of you that likes Pokemon or doesn't like Buzz Lightyear. Lightyear the movie. Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you all guys for watching. And this was Pokémon Radio. Peace out.
See you real soon.
Bye.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.